What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Level Up series. That is a series where I'm taking what I assume to be the absolute lawn care beginner and bringing them all the way through as advanced of understanding of lawn care as my ability allows me to bring you. Little hint, it's not very far. And today, before we progress through this series into understanding fertilizers, fungicides, all of these types of things, the tool I want to talk to you about today is something that all of us have and we can use it for free, and that is our eyeballs. And now, why am I telling you that one of the greatest lawn care tools that you have are your own two eyes? Well, as a part of this series, I want to break away from the schedules that we all have and we all kind of understand and are in all the Facebook groups, all the YouTube videos, etc. And those schedules are the types of fertilizer applications you're going to do. Like maybe you're following an app that's telling you these are the things that you need to do. And then the other is for watering, putting down that 1.5 inches of water every week, no matter what. And I'm going to tell you that your eyeballs can save you time and energy and money on both of those, because you don't need to fertilize a yard that doesn't look like it needs to be fertilized. So if you look out onto your yard and it is a good, healthy green color and it is actively growing well, and you see that with your eyes and you experience that when you're mowing, there's no need to fertilize that lawn. There just isn't. So don't. And now what you're going to look for is if you start to see that color fade away, or if you're starting to see inconsistencies. For example, I can show you off to the side of my house where my dog has been going to the bathroom. That part of my yard's hungry. I would fertilize that now if I could. Or I'm seeing darker green, not because of its rye versus a different grass type, and it's just a different color because it's a different color, but that's all a monostand. It's a different color because it's hungry and it needs to be fertilized. That's what we're looking for. When you see that, go fertilize. And the only other reason I would suggest is if there is a certain amount of a macronutrient that you need to get onto the ground based on a soil test that you got. And if you're thinking about doing micronutrient applications, you really can save your time there as well. I can show you this from a textbook on turfgrass management that I picked up that it explicitly says in very few instances other than iron and manganese do you need to ever apply a micronutrient. Those are needed in such small quantities, your soil is very likely going to have those there and you don't need to worry about it. So there you go. We're using our eyes to save our money, time, materials, products, chemicals, etc., and helping to dial in, again, the point of this series, our lawn care. And the other one is the watering schedule. I've talked about this at length in other videos, but I want you to use your eyeballs when you go to water. You don't need to just set your irrigation system to water these 3 days every week and water for this amount. We need to go out there and use our eyes to determine whether or not we need to water at all. And what you're going to look for is generally a graying or kind of the deeper green fading away. You'll see the grass blades start to fold up or shrink in on themselves a little bit. And that's an indication that the grass is suffering from drought stress. And when you see that, go out there and water. Don't just water on the schedule. Don't just fertilize on the schedule. Use those eyes. And further, we can use our own eyeballs to determine what sort of issues we have. Is that section of my yard turning brown because of drought? Is it turning brown because of disease? Is it turning brown because of grubs? Any of those types of issues, you can look, are there lesions on the grass blade? If there are, that's probably a disease issue. If it has been a slow transition into dying off and it's gone through that phase of drought stress, then you probably need to water. And if you're seeing sections of your yard die and you can go find those and just pull the grass up with no problem, it's probably some sort of insect issue. So there we go. Quick tip on your most valuable lawn care tool, those two eyeballs that you have. Hopefully you have two. At least one that works. It's going to help. And how that's your most valuable asset and what you're going to do in your yard. And we're going to use that tool as we go forward through this whole process together of leveling up our lawn care, dialing everything in, and getting the yard that we all want for as little time, money, and effort as possible so that we can spend as much time out here enjoying it. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.